Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn daily energy, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. Then it was not meant for you. It was meant for someone else. All right, so we're going to get an empowering question, and then I have my Alice in Wonderland tarot cards. We'll get some clarifiers and then close out with an oracle and see what's going on and see who needs to hear a message today. All right. All right, so an empowering question. Feeling like this one right here. All right, so we have what or who am I beneath all my roles? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't think I've seen that one yet. Without all of those roles that you play, right? All of those different kind of titles that you have, those roles that you play, beneath all of that, who is that person? Do you know that person? Do you know what that person likes? Do you know like the details of that person? Do you know what makes that person tick? What motivates that person? I mean, that's a really good question. There was a video that I had been watching, and this person had said how when you're trying to get to know somebody, you ask them all these questions, right? You meet somebody new, a new friend or a new partner, and you're getting to know each other, right? You're asking all of those questions about them so you can get to know them. But have you asked those questions to yourself, right? And are you able to answer those questions? Have you really learned about yourself? I feel like sometimes we get so caught up with all of our roles and our responsibilities that we kind of lose who we are. And that's sort of something to think about. And I feel like that's what that card is sort of asking that question. Who are you? All right, we have Page of Swords. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe that Seven of Pentacles, I just felt like it's getting back to those things that you like to do, because you're asking yourself, who am I? And what are those things that I like to do? And what are those things that motivate me? And am I making that time for those things that motivate me? The Fool, taking that leap of faith, kind of going down that rabbit hole, right? We have Ace of Pentacles. We have Three of Swords. And we have the Eight of Wands. So for overall energy, we have the Eight of Wands, and that's that forward movement, right? That's moving forward. That's quick moving energy. That can be scattered energy. That is, but I feel like it's more like focused energy in this sense, because all of the wands are sort of facing the same way. They're going the same way. It could be something, a surprise. Could be a surprise is coming in for you. That would be exciting, right? A surprise. Or maybe it's even a surprise. It's like, well, I don't, you're asking yourself, who am I beneath all of my roles? And maybe it's a surprise. I don't even know who that person is, because I haven't taken that time to look at that person, to focus on that person, to see what that person likes and what that person doesn't like. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. For some reason, I'm focusing on this scroll that he has on his hand, in his hand there. Kind of looking and saying, who am I? That you have all those answers within, but it's time to unroll that scroll, right? It's time to take a look at it. Page of Swords is delayed energy. It's something that maybe, you should have done a while ago, but maybe you weren't ready then, right? Or it's something that's been delayed, something that hasn't happened, or you haven't taken that time to really figure out who it is you are, right? Or those things that you like to do. We have the King of Cups. King of Cups. The King of Cups is somebody who goes with the flow, who has easy going energy. I feel like the King of Cups is somebody who definitely takes time out for himself to enjoy life and to enjoy those fun things, right? And I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles there, the Seven of Pentacles is that you're doing something, but then you stop and you look back and you're like thinking about something and you're like kind of moving forward, and then you're like, I think there's something I need to do here. I think there's something I need to change. I think there's something that I have to look at. I think there's something, you know, that really made me think, and let me look at that. Now for future energies, we have the Fool, where Alice is getting ready to hop down the rabbit hole, right? She doesn't know what's down there. She doesn't know what's going to happen, but she's willing to take that leap of faith. And I feel like that's almost asking you, are you ready to take that leap of faith? Are you ready to kind of pursue those things maybe that you've been putting off? Ace of Pentacles, for some reason when I saw this, I feel like it's that new job or that new opportunity or that business or that thing that you want to do that maybe you've been putting that off, and now you're kind of looking at those at yourself and you're saying, you know what, I'm not getting any younger. Time is going by, time is flying by. It's time for me to take that leap of faith with something. So if there's something, you may be having that energy that like it's time for me to do that and to not hold myself back. I feel like in this instance that this Three of Swords is kind of you holding yourself back and kind of focusing on the reasons why you can't do something. And it's about you kind of turning around and saying, well, here's the reason why I can, right? Almost like I'm looking at this, and instead of focusing at the one piece of cake that's gone, right, kind of looking at, well, there's one piece gone, but I still have this whole cake, right? And it's time for me to pull those swords out of this cake and start, you know, focusing on that whole cake that I have left. That there's a piece of me that's missing, that there's a piece of me that have changed, but it's time for me to work on that and to put that back together. Let's see, let's get some clarifiers. I feel like this is there's something that you've been thinking about doing and you've been wanting to do it for a while, and you kind of started doing it and then you stopped doing it. Because he's got 3 of the roses are painted red, but then he has 4 of the roses that aren't painted yet. And I feel like he's kind of stopping because that crow is sitting on top of the tree, right? And the crow is stopping him. But it's like, am I going to let that crow stop me, or am I going to continue on and painting the rest of the flowers? Because there's definitely obstacles, because I feel like sometimes there's obstacles that are put in front of us to see how badly we want something. And if you really want something badly enough, you will find a way to make it happen. People find a way to make things happen. People find a way to spend time with people that they want to spend time with. People find a way to find that time to do those things that they like to do. They will make that happen. The Sun card, I love it. I love it. Overall energy, the Sun card, that you feel like you're moving forward. Sometimes we feel like we're stagnant. We're stuck in this same cycle. And it's like, I want to change, right? I want something to be different. I'm tired of this cycle that I'm in. And what are those things that make me feel happy, that make me feel motivated, that make me feel like I want to move forward, that make me feel like I'm in that sun energy? And kind of pursuing those things. It doesn't mean that you have to give up everything else that's around you, but sometimes if we just spend a couple hours a week doing those things that we like to do. For me, I have my horse, so I go out to the barn a couple days a week, and let me tell you, that is a major reset for me, and I love being out there. I don't look at my phone, I don't deal with my phone, I don't deal with anything. I just am in the moment, and I'm out there, and I enjoy it, and I love it. And it's just so calming, and it just helps me to refocus and gives me that energy, and I have a good time no matter what it is that I'm doing out there. You know, if I end up going horseback riding, or we just kind of walk around the property, or I have friends out there, so, you know, chit-chatting with them. It's just a really nice time all the way around, and having that thing, you know, a couple hours a couple times a week really helps me to refocus. And maybe that's something that you need to look into, right? What is that thing that you want to look into that gives you that fire, that gives you that passion? And maybe it's a business, right? Maybe it's something that you want to start. Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe there's somebody out there that you've been wanting to reach out to, that, you know, you kind of lost contact, and you're like, you know what, I really had so much fun with that person. What can I do to rekindle that relationship? Let me check on that person and see how they're doing, right? That brings a lot of growth. I feel like that brings a lot of happiness to yourself, right? That makes you feel more content. It makes you feel like you're enjoying each day, that you are enjoying life more instead of just going through the motions, right? The Magician, you being able to find that time to make things happen. If you want to make it happen, you will find the time and the energy to make it happen, and focusing on that and making it happen to, you know what I mean? Leap down that rabbit hole and take that chance with something. For me personally, I would rather try to take that chance and do something, and if I failed, at least I knew that I took that chance and I did it, rather than sitting there and saying, I should have. I mean, that's like this YouTube channel. I mean, I kind of sat there for a long time saying, I don't know, should I or shouldn't I? I don't know. And then it's like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And I'm just going to see what happens. And I'm just going to go from there. And I don't know where it's going to go from here. But I'm excited to see where it goes. And I have a positive energy and a positive feeling about it. And I feel good about it. And I like it. And I enjoy it. And I'm really glad that I took that leap of faith. And I knew nothing about YouTube or, you know, making videos, and I'm still learning, right? I just got my ring light, so I'm still trying to figure that out, and I just got in front of the camera, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's been exciting, and I like doing it, and I enjoy doing it. But I will find a way. I find a way to do it along with the other things that I have going on. So, and I feel like that's this reading too, right? What's going to make you happy? Is there, like I was saying before, relationships that maybe you want to rekindle, that you want to get back together? Like maybe you had a girls' night or a guys' night, and it's like, you know what, we used to do that, but we kind of grew apart from that. So maybe I'll schedule that girls' or that guys' night again, and let's get back to that. Get back to that get together, you know, because that's what Four of Wands is that celebration and being together. Look at that. I love that. Nine of Cups, right? Making your wishes and your dreams come true. What makes you happy? What are those goals that you want to achieve? What do you want to have happen, right? Look at that. Nine of Cups and the Sun card. Moving forward, right, with the Eight of Wands. Moving forward, focusing on that Nine of Cups and the Sun card. And staying in that positive energy and picking yourself up on those days that you feel that you're struggling and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, why did I even do this? Because you're going to have those days. You're going to have those days where you struggle and you're like, oh my gosh. But then when you really think about it, you're like, you know what, this really does make me happy, and that I'm just having a rough patch today, and I'll get through it, and then tomorrow is a new day, and I'm going to focus on those positive things, those feelings and those emotions that make me feel happy. All right, so let's get an animal oracle card and close out the reading. Finding out who you really are, I feel like that is a much more fulfilling life, right? And doing those things that you enjoy to do and to surround yourself with people, or maybe meeting new people, right? Because I didn't know anybody when I went out to the barn. I've met so many people out there. And, you know, some people are just kind of casual, you have a conversation with, and some people I've grown closer to. So it's like, if it's something that you like to do, that you can meet people that like the same thing that you do, and you have that in common. So it could be new relationships that are formed because of that. Fox Spirit, think on your feet. Think of those things that you like to do, right? What are those things that you like to do? Who are you beneath those rules? And thinking about that, right? And really looking into that. And that's why I feel about like tarot readings, is that sometimes it just kind of brings up those questions or those perspectives to give you something to think about. And I feel like that's what this reading is. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.